Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is a noob's guide to executive assistant add-on. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. So when it comes to executive assistant, this is basically how it goes. You start off with the add-on, you just download it and you get presented with a lovely screen kind of like this. Now this is the actual task list for executive assistant, and we'll get onto that in a minute. You will notice that you will get a mini-map button. This is for the executive assistant and it brings up the executive assistant UI, which then you can then change it to whatever you so desire. Now, aside from all of this, there's loads of different types of things when it comes to executive assistant. It's basically a daily planner, weekly planner, monthly planner. It's basically just a task list. And what we're intending on doing in this little video today is we're going to run down how do we just get it working, because we want to get it working, we want people to actually start using it. And to be honest, I love Executive Assistant. Whoever created it, top notch add-on. But aside from that, let's just get into the rundown for this. Now, for obvious reasons, Executive Assistant's UI is pretty widespread, and what you really want to be doing is you don't really want to play around with like the back end of this, like the first page of the Executive Assistant. If you just want it working, you just want to go over to the panel saying Task Management. And when you are in task management, this is where you are able to create different groups and or tasks within the executive assistant. Now, this is primarily something that I do. You can add a group name by just coming over here and stating what you actually want. So we could just say, so let's just say it didn't have a time span, but it had to be done weekly. So if you were somewhat aiming for weekly farms, we can just type that in and press OK. This then creates weekly farms as a group and then immediately makes a default task for you, which then you can edit. Now, you can change your name colors within all of this, so it's just easier for you. I really don't play around with this all that much, but you can play around with how it looks and make it look all pretty and all that stuff. But really, that's not what I am intending on with this video. We are definitely going to be adding a new task. And what do we want for our weekly farms? Well, weekly farms is pretty dead simple. We're just going to change the name once again, and we'll just say I want to do let's just say I want to do 3 hours of herbing and mining. So we'll just press OK on that. So we'll just press OK. You can always use the mouse as well. And do we want this? Then you'll be presented with other different things. You can actually set the default for all characters. You can enable this or disable this, and if it's for this character that you're using it on. Now, obviously, I just leave this as it is because I find that enabled on all chars, and as a default, it just works perfectly fine. Now, the next part to this is account-wide task. Yes, I would like it to be an account-wide task. Otherwise, it will be only for my character. So if I log out and log on to another character, I won't see that task is still active, which is kind of annoying for me. For me, when it comes to farming, I tend to have it on every single character, so I know what's needed to be done at any one time. I find this to be the most effective way of keeping my task list going, and then I can just keep up to date with all of that. Now, the next part is to determine whether your task type, automatic, weekly automatic, purgeable, manual, reminder, at each login, so every time you log on it will tell you to do something, or do it through the calendar. Now, the only ones that you really want to do if you want to do a weekly or a daily task list, that is for having it at either a daily or a weekly automatic. The manuals, they are not determined by anything. So basically, with the daily and weekly automatics, every week it will reset, or every day it will reset. But when it comes to the manual part, you actually physically have to click it and make sure that it's unchecked again. So you have the option of making it automatic, So it just automates the entire system, and that is the method in which I go with. Now, with this one, I'm going to make it as it is the weekly farms task. We're going to make it weekly automatic. Now, other than that, we are definitely wanting to hide days. Which days will we want to hide? Now, this could go very well, and we can then choose which days we want it to actually show. So if I didn't want it as it is a Wednesday, do I want it shown on Wednesday? It will actually get rid of it and hide it on Wednesdays. Now, for obvious reasons, I've done my setup, so it gives me a task list on every single day, and it can be altered. So for Wednesday today, with my one, that's my actual setup at the moment, it says I need to do my bag of anchors. So I need to do my bag of anchors on all of my alchemists, I need to do my daily restock, and I need to run ICC for the Shadowmourne quest line. Once they're done, that's my daily gold routine, and obviously I'm going to be adding a few more bits into this. Now, aside from that, I want this to be a weekly thing, so I want to be able to track it all week. So we're just going to have it at no hide days. Now, there is something that I have not added into this, setting it up for what I want. So if I wanted this, so my setup is pretty dead simple. It has all of my tasks and all of my groups. And with these groups and tasks, I have them set for each day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every single day is hidden out. So then once I decided to show a specific day, it will then tell me, you need to do this on today and then this on that day. But with the weekly farms, I want to make sure that it's always shown. So no matter what day, it will always be shown on Executive Assistant. And that is basically how you set up some groups and or doing some tasks. Now you can do other different things within the task management. That is just one panel of Executive Assistant. This is quite an extensive add-on in order to play with. You can play around with your styles and all of that jazz, how it's actually produced. So we could go into Style Manager, we could set the task counts, we can set the normal task names. You can change pretty much every color of all of this stuff. And then you can also change like the borders of certain things as well. So if I said I wanted to like change things like my window options, I can. And instead of like having like a background color of like solid, I could pick something like that and then just play around with a load of different things. And basically you have a lot of customizability when it comes to your actual panel, so to speak. And you can play around with how you want it to look and perceive. This one really doesn't need a guide. It's basically just read it and make sure you're going to be changing like what border color you're going to have and all that stuff to make it look all pretty. And yeah, that's pretty much the idea of it. Mainly Executive Assistant is used for just general daily tasks and weekly tasks. If you want to go a bit more in depth, obviously this is just a noob's guide, so it just gives you the lowdown on how this actual add-on works. And I preferably like to use this. Now there is something that I've actually missed out from my daily stuff, and that would be, so we'll go over to Wednesday, we're going to add a new task, so we're going to press Add Task. And if you wanted to delete your task, however, you can just press Shift and delete, and then it will delete your task. Now, I want to do my daily battle pets. So daily battle pets, what am I going to do on daily battle pets? So, and all I want to do for today is create a Mechagon / Najatar bee pets, because I want to do my battle pet dailies on all of my characters. Obviously, it's set as a daily automatic, which is not what I want. I want to make a weekly automatic. Obviously, I could make a daily automatic, but I would prefer to make loads of tasks and then block them off throughout the week. So make it account wide and then weekly automatic. And the day to day is I'm going to click it off. So then it will actually show for us. And then for every single part of the day, it will then show this farm on a Wednesday, and then as it becomes Tuesday or Thursday, it won't show on there. So then I can add these groups in, and then it just ultimately refreshes it for me for that week. So then I've now got a nice little task list for the week, which is do which is my daily stuff, which is my bag of anchors, my daily restock, my Shadowmourne, and my Najatara and Mechagon battle pets for getting up rep and doing all of that jazz. And then I've got my weekly farms, which I put down on there. Obviously, my weekly farms is not going to be 3 hours. It's going to be something a bit different than that, because I want to be able to do other things when it comes to this. Obviously, because it's in the weekly farm section, I don't want that to happen. You can, however, set this all to daily if it's going to be near on the same, but I want to have it on, but I'm crafting it the way I prefer it, and that is the best part about Executive Assistant. You can customize it to the way in which you want. Now, other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the video today. I wanted to do a rundown on Executive Assistant and the bare bones basics on how it works. Other than that, guys, take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Yeah.